We'll watch this instead.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, and I try cases. That's why I'm board-certified. Have the chops to go to trial. Today we are reacting to The Gift That Keeps on Giving, Andrew Tate. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by eSign.com.
I'm going to move this
eSign.com. Let's say the cops are coming
That
to get
way,
you. You
there's
can't
a lot
get
of
out
stuff
your house
down
'cause
here
you
at
got
the bottom.
7 warrants. And you got to sign a deal for a new place.
it up a
Well,
bit.
just have them e-sign you a document. You send it to them, you sign it remotely. You don't have to leave your house to get picked up on your warrant. You just sign that document remotely, and you're good to go. It's awesome. Download the app. You get 3
I've used
free
this before.
signatures a month. It's awesome. If you're doing any kind of business remotely, it's awesome. It's a way to get things done and get it done fast. Now, today we are reacting to The Gift That Keeps on Giving, which is Andrew Tate.
True.
Now, I'm getting all kinds of flack from people saying, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater of Andrew Tate. He's my hero. Well, I don't care if he's your hero or not. I'm giving you a good, in-depth legal analysis. And if my own opinions kind of bleed into that a little bit because I think the guy's a pig, well, so be it. But Andrew Tate, top G, is sitting in a jail in Romania. And
God.
they initially detained him for 30 days. They went up on appeal to try to get that reversed.
It's like you've got to think about it, right? I mean, this guy's a fucking, he's spent multiple decades being a successful lawyer. He runs a successful YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure he's like married. So he's a wife and kids. He's got his own home. He's massively successful. And you have these little kids in the chat thinking that trying to call him a loser and think he's going to care. This guy already completed all of the life achievements. He doesn't need a fucking Bugatti. It doesn't matter.
Guess what? The judge ruled against him. The judge said, no, we're not going with your argument, and the risk of flight basically is too great. Remember he said he had 7 passports, and I can go to any country?
I have so many passports. What, are you going to block them all?
And so it's the risk of avoiding the investigation. That's what they talked about in the order. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means now the prosecutor can seek 180 days of detention.
That's half
against
a fucking
him.
year.
And I think that will keep on going. And what that's designed to do is have a review process to see, okay, where are we at now? We don't have that in this country. You're either detained or you're not detained. You either get bail or you don't get bail. If you don't get bail, then you just sit while your case is pending.
It's like, this Andrew Tate talked about how great it was that he could bribe the Romanian officials and everything, basically saying how corrupt they were. But, what if all of these, super corrupt people with no real oversight or accountability, what if they don't like you? Man, I bet you're going to have a bad day. I bet you're going to have a bad 180 days, actually. Yeah.
And that's real common in federal court. In state court, not quite as common. But in this case, he's got 6 accusers, and they are all accusing him of basically sex trafficking and rape.
See, that's one of the things that I think that people don't realize is the fact that there are 6 people that are trying to, hold him accountable or have him arrested for this. It's not like this is one person or it's like the government that's made the decision. There are actual victims, actual people, and the government has investigated this for the better part of a year to verify its authenticity, and then they acted on it.
Now, Vice News has reported that there is a 3rd accuser of rape, and this is really interesting because they got text messages and voicemail messages that
somebody says, sorry, I don't mean to pause again. Somebody says, how do you abuse 6 different people in a row? It's not to say it was in a row. However, that whenever somebody gets arrested or convicted of a sexual crime, the odds are, I think that I read the numbers on this, that there are on average 5 previous victims that have been affected by this person before they got convicted or in trouble. So this is actually pretty much par for the course. I'd be surprised if it wasn't more.
That really, really kind of describe who this guy is. So let me just read you some of this stuff. I haven't verified this because I haven't seen the messages. I'm just going to read you what they're reporting, okay? And by the way, there's no fucking Matrix. Okay, the Matrix is get me this, get me that. Hold. Bullshit. Your own words, your own actions is what's putting you where you are.
I think that to an extent there is definitely a mainstream Matrix, but the mainstream Matrix didn't make him fucking do human trafficking. Like, just because there is like a mainstream group of people that try to make sure that there's a prevailing narrative doesn't mean that every bad decision you make is their fault.
So, a third woman in 2 weeks has come forward to accuse Tate of the misogynistic influence, blah, 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 and in which Tate appears to say, "I love raping you." Now,
that doesn't sound good.
She says, "I've never been strangled before. I don't know if he's going to stop, and I was so scared." Whenever you think about that situation, you think you're going to fight back, but I'm telling you, you don't. You don't fight back, because if you fight back, what else is he going to do to you? He's a 6'3" champion kickboxer, for God's sake.
That's fucking true. Is like, the fact is that, guys, on average, men are a lot stronger than women. That's just the truth. And a lot of girls let that kind of stuff happen because they're worried that if they try to fight back, the guy is going to escalate things even more. That's what happens.
Those were her words. One of the ways you defend these kinds of things, and I know my detractors on this issue will talk about, well, what about this? What about that?
Right.
Sure. You say, okay, well, after that, then you went back to him, right? And that's really common for somebody who's a victim of abuse to embrace their abuser. And
I would also like to add in the context that one of the other reasons why people feel like they're trapped with an abuser is whenever people go and they say, as soon as this person comes out and they say, hey, this guy was an abuser, everybody says, oh, you're fucking lying. Oh, you're lying. You're just doing it for clout. You're doing it to make him look bad. And like, this isn't true. Like, why didn't you do X? Why didn't you do Y? Like, all this other stuff. So like, the people that want these girls in most cases to come out and talk about these experiences earlier and exercise, what they believe to be common sense, actually provide the environment that suppresses that common sense, as they say it, being used.
And she said, if I go and see him again, and I want it this time, then I'm not being degraded. Then it's not the R word, rape. And she explained, so that's what I did. So that's why she went back to him.
Okay.
But then she eventually left.
Well, people justify bad stuff like that all the time. Like, how many of you guys have had somebody that was abusive towards you and you justified it in some way, and then later on you finally, came to your fucking senses and you were like, actually, I was just getting fucked with? A lot of people. So, like, all I'm saying is I'm trying to build a foundation that this is not something that just happens with like girls in these sexual situations. It happens for a lot of people.
The text messages that he sent are just remarkable, just absolutely remarkable. So I woke up and I realized if I had spent the whole weekend, I might have ended the hospital. And so he still continued to text her after she left. He says to her, am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking love how much you hated it. It turned me on. Why am I like that? And I loved raping you, and I loved watching you let me while still debating if it's a good idea or not.
See, like, that's a bad idea to text people that, because, like, they can pull those logs. Like, I would not have texted somebody this. This is, like, not only would I not have done it, but, like, if somebody was in this situation, you shouldn't fuck it. Like, are you stupid? Why the fuck are you texting this? Like, how dumb are you? This is an intelligent ape. Yeah, it's just so dumb. And I think that, like, one thing that this really, really undercuts is the idea that Andrew Tate is some sort of fucking, like mastermind. Okay? Nobody who's a mastermind does this. It's just stupid.
When you're under my control, I do whatever I want. And that's your role model? That's the top G? Somebody who likes to beat the fuck out of women? Honestly, are you kidding me?
No, there are a lot of people that actually feel that way. That's like, I understand that it might be hard to understand as, like, you know, a guy that's older and, you know, has a lot of status, etc. But there are a lot of guys that are incels or adjacent to that actually do want to be able to do that. You know, as with most things, Occam's razor. The simplest answer is probably the right one.
No. Anyway, like I said, I didn't verify this. And, you know, what's her axe to grind? I suppose that's where the defense goes. So the defense tries to destroy somebody's credibility. But if she's got text messages that are verifiable, it is bad for him. I loved raping you. So. Who would say that? Even if you...
Yeah, exactly. That looks bad for him. So fucking true.
You're joking. Nobody would. And here's the thing. Guys, all guys, respect women. You know, this business of I can get pussy whenever I want, I can do this. You know what? You go down a slippery slope when you do that. If you are just true blue and honestly deal with women in a good light, you're not going to have to worry about allegations like this. Especially, you know, and I've handled a lot of crim sex cases over the years, 25 years, right? And in doing so, I see people who dip their toe in the water of depravity. And now I'm not a prude. I think you can have your derelictions, you can have your fetishes and this and that. But I
have no problem. But the thing is, fetishes and stuff like that, that's not bad. There's nothing bad about that. It's not even like there's nothing bad about that because it's consensual. Absolutely not. If you want to do BDSM, that's just the same to me as missionary, in my opinion. Exact fucking same.
The more it is not normal, you know, the more it is kind of a little kinky.
Yep.
The further down that road you can wind up going. You need something
even
more to get you off. And one of the things he has said in his prior videos was straight up sex is boring. And he gets off on the power and the control. And you can see that in some of his speeches that he's given. And when you get into court and they start using your own words against you.
That's not good.
Text messages.
Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah.
Tweets.
Uh-huh.
It creates a picture. And, you know, and what they do is they don't just have one thing that they present.
Not very good.
The prosecution will do it brick by brick by brick, and he will be his own worst enemy. There's some breaking news that he went to the hospital, and it's unconfirmed as to why he went to the hospital.
Yeah, it's like I can't believe, and it's just like he's so fucking stupid that he recorded videos of him doing this stuff in private. Yeah, it's just nuts, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Both parties consent. Doesn't seem to be the case here. No, it doesn't, and that's what the problem is, man. This dumbass that says he says this is role play, ends the video with "I thought you were cool." Bro, there's nothing wrong with role playing something like that. That's totally fine because it's two consensual adults. The problem, the thing is, if the girl was okay with it, she wouldn't be fucking talking to the government for a year. She wouldn't have invested a year of her life if she was okay with it. Like, just think about it logically. Like, this is a -1 for her whole life. This is gonna fuck up. Like, let's say there's no emotional trauma and she's doing it just to fuck him over. What are the odds that 6 people want to dedicate an entire year of their life and potentially massive fucking public, exposure to shutting down some loser? It's just probably not going to happen. For money? I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. Because if the thing is that if they did it for money, they're not going to get any money from him after they go to the government. Like, you do that for money before you go to the government. And also, like, if a girl is finessing this guy and she's like, you have to pay me because you did this, and I'm going to fucking, if you don't give me a bunch of money, I'm going to go to the government with this, the police. I don't really feel that bad for him Because if you didn't want her to be able to do that, maybe you shouldn't have done the thing that now she's able to go to the police with. Think about it like this. Yeah, holy shit, man. So they wouldn't get awarded any money unless it goes to civil court? Bro, what do you think the odds are that Andrew Tate is going to have to pay these people money? He's going to go to jail. I don't know what the court is over in Romania. I don't even know if they have civil court. I have no idea. Yeah, he's going to be in fucking jail, man. Victims are entitled to compensation after criminal court? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have no idea how the law is over there. Is a Romanian court case about rape or human trafficking? I think it's probably a, you know, it's like a buffet. Let's see here. And I'll read a comment here. I believe those girls saw an opportunity in this. For the moment, they were okay with it because it was consensual and private, not because it is public. Tom Y., you understand your entire argument goes into the garbage whenever Andrew Tate himself admits that they didn't like it and that they were trying to actively resist him while they were having sex. He admits that it wasn't consensual. So what are you saying? Are you saying that your top G is a liar? I mean, are you calling the top G a liar now? Come on. Come on, he would never do that.
He's extremely paranoid. He talks about he can't even go to the barbershop without renting out the whole barbershop for fear that somebody's going to kill him. Why is he that? Or is that shtick? That could be shtick too, because that could just be consumption for social media. Because I'm such a big shot, everybody wants a piece of me.
I love how this guy who's like a private citizen thinks that somebody can't kill him if they want to. Some random fucking dude with a homemade gun killed the Prime Minister of Japan. We've had 2 presidents of the United States get killed. If somebody wants to kill you, you're going to be dead. Somebody important. You know, what are you talking about? Like renting out a barbershop? What happens whenever you leave the barbershop? Doesn't matter if you have 6 people around you if somebody can aim. It's so silly.
Or is he ingrained so much with local mafia and organized crime that, and he's done so much shitty business that he's pissed so many people off?
No way.
Don't know. Don't know.
Way.
But he went to the hospital and don't know if he was attacked or not, but it seems like it was just a routine check. If he was attacked, a couple things could be at play. He could pay somebody to attack him so that he gets out of there, because it's easier to be in a hospital setting than it is in the crappy, shitty Romanian jail that he's in.
Probably.
Or it could be a legitimate attack. Don't know. But he did go to the hospital. I think it was more for a routine check than anything else, so I think it's probably a lot about nothing.
That's what my understanding was, is that it wasn't some sort of massive illness. He just went in for a checkup or something that was pretty much, you know, an everyday thing, and people blew it out of proportion. I don't know,
He's
though.
been tweeting about it through he's got people doing his social media still, which is pretty active. This is just a quick update on Andrew Tate and the denial of his appeal, a new accuser, and his trip to the hospital. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Okay.
I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Make sure you sign up for Patreon. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case.
I love these videos. I think they're fucking great, man. Yep. Let's see here. Tate will be a superstar in Romanian jails. We're fucking low IQ morons over here. I don't know. I think a lot of guys, like, this is always my understanding, is that I think a lot of guys that are in jail for different stuff, they look down on people that commit sex crimes. Like, committing sex crimes is, like, very, very low on the totem pole in prison. Yeah, and it doesn't matter, by the way, it does not matter if you are a championship kickboxer or something like that. If 3 dudes jump you, they're going to change your life, okay? Like, it does not fucking matter. That's happened. Like, I've heard many stories about that. This is not like in the movies, guys. Yeah, they just beat the shit out of you with a knife or without a knife. They just get the drop on you and hit you in the back of the head with a rock. Like, what do you think? Like, think about like those metal pans that like people have like their food in. I don't know if they still use those. If somebody hit you on the side of the head with a metal pan like that without you knowing it, that would probably give you brain damage. It doesn't matter how big or strong you are. It's going to completely fuck you up. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy, that people think that that guy would be okay. Yeah, absolutely not. Let's see here. I'll link it to you guys one more time. We'll watch the other video. Here we go. Wouldn't hurt him because he got no brain. Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is a shorter one. We'll wrap it up with this one. We'll turn it up again.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Yeah, somebody also said in chat, being known as a professional fighter would encourage other people to like step up to you. Yeah, that's true. That's why, like, who are the people that have the most fucking guys around them? Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. Because people want to step up to them and get in a fight with them to say that they beat one of them in a fight. So that's why they have like tons of fucking bodyguards around them all the time to prevent that from happening. Ego shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled, quick episode of... What is this? Oh, it's Criminal Lawyer Reacts, CLR. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, coming to you live with my pearl-handled pistol cufflinks given to me by our content genius, Michael Rivers. So today, it's going to be a quick video. So remember we talked in our last video on the gift that keeps on giving, Andrew Tate, about certain text messages. We're going to talk about that in a second, but before we do, let's say you're Andrew Tate and you need to get your medical records over to the prison staff and you don't know how to sign a release of information. Well, you're in custody, but you have a laptop and they send you a document and you e-sign it so you don't have to leave your cell because everybody else wants to do what they want to do to you. And you're able to get those release of medical records so you can pretend you have some kind of condition so you can get out of that prison cell because it just sucks. You go to esign.com, get the
how
app.
about that?
You get 3 signatures a month for free.
This is 100% some Saul Goodman shit. This is so good. I love it.
If you do that, you'll be good to
God.
go. You can do it for anything else, retainer agreement or business agreement or any kind of contract that you want to sign remotely. Remember I was talking to you a little bit about these women coming forward with these messages and I love everybody that comments, whether it's positive or negative.
That's a lie.
And we've and some of you guys, you're just super loyal to Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And I think that's you got to have somebody that you're loyal to, right?
Yeah.
Not me. I mean, am I biased? Yes, I'm biased. Because his words make me not like him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. Because what matters is, what is he going to face? All right? Mm-hmm. And what is the evidence out there? So I can give my opinion all day long. But does it really matter if the evidence is not there? Does it really matter if the evidence is there? Let's just give it to you straight. Remember, he says, "I love you." Let's play. I haven't heard this, and I know what you guys are going to say. I know what you people who have one ball in each hand.
You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
That's a voice recording controversial influencer Andrew Tate.
No way, man. That's AI. That's AI. There's no way he would even say that.
A woman in 2015. That audio, along with disturbing messages reading, quote, "I loved raping you," are now coming to light as Tate faces sex trafficking charges overseas. Vice World News published the messages and voice notes allegedly made by Tate. And we want to warn you, they may be disturbing to some.
I bet.
All right, you ready? Now, if you're saying this is AI,
We've heard this.
that would be a great defense. And here's the thing. I've seen Elon Musk talk about how they have this AI.
It's possible.
And maybe it is.
Yeah.
But this is going into court. And if it is AI, you're going to have to prove it. Because
it's also like, so if you wanted to prove that like the voice was AI, there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. In the same way that one guy was able to get his essay caught for using ChatGPT, a lot of AIs have different patterns in the way that their audio and the way that they're generated in different avenues that allow people to reverse engineer and find out that they're made by AI. Also, the fact that he's saying something that is in line with everything else that he said on every other platform, even admitted to publicly, I mean, like, fuck, it's not really a stretch of the imagination that he said the thing that he texted to somebody else, is it? And then on top of that, you can look at, obviously, when was the AI, when was this submitted to the police? Who submitted it? What is their history with, any sort of like fucking, like any sort of like audio tech stuff? Because somebody can't just randomly do this. Send this to an audio engineer, have them look at it to verify its authenticity. I'm sure this is very easily doable by a court. All of this is easily doable.
It'll be almost presumed that it's the real deal because you have to have somebody lay foundation. That's how this works. So you can't just get a piece of evidence in just because you say it is what it is. Yeah. Somebody's going to have to say, this is the recording of Andrew Tate, and it was sent to me. So whoever was the recipient of this.
Metadata. Yeah,
but let's listen.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it.
Remember, that's exactly what I read to you in our last Mr. Tate video.
Oh, yeah.
I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit?
I think I'd be offended if you strangled me a little bit. Now,
yeah, that's probably true. I would be too. I wouldn't like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds fake as fuck. Oh, I don't know. The thing is that, I mean, there's 6 different people saying he did stuff like this. There's text messages of him saying he did stuff like this. He's talked publicly about doing things like this. He's already been kicked off of another show in 2016 for doing something like this. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, maybe it's a fucking duck.
Well, keep in mind, some people like that.
Maybe it's just.
But if you're complaining about it, you probably don't have a safe word, and you need one.
You didn't f***ing pass out. Chill the f*** out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
I thought you were cool, so I could put my hands around your neck so you could watch your eyes pop out and get petechiae eye all over the place.
And if I had actually hurt anybody, the Romanian police would have me in jail.
What? Now, is that AI? If I would have actually hurt anybody, Romanian police would have me in jail.
Where is he right now? That's like this. That's like the stupidest thing you could say. If I didn't do it, if I did something wrong, the police would have arrested me. So I didn't do anything wrong because I'm not arrested. Well, I'm arrested now. Yeah, but I didn't do anything wrong. Oh my God.
Where are you? I think you're in jail. Here's the thing. We've only seen just snippets. And let's talk about the procedure a little bit. There's the evidence gathering stage, which is what we're in right now. And I've seen some comments, where people say, well, they've come back and they've said that they didn't do it. He hasn't had an opportunity to cross-examine anybody yet. Well, no, you wouldn't at this stage. This is the charging stage. Yeah. It's the very beginning.
Oh, and I want to make sure this is clear again. I've mentioned this multiple times, but I'll say it again. Andrew Tate deserves his right to defend himself. He deserves his right. Like, if I could push a button and put him in jail, I wouldn't do it. Because I don't have all the evidence and I haven't heard the arguments. He deserves his right. And he will go to trial and then we will put him in jail. Problem solved. Probably.
You don't get your opportunity to cross-examine somebody before you testify or before you get charged.
Oh, really?
You get charged.
Well, a judge will look at it.
Then you go through pretrial procedures. Maybe you have some motions. Maybe you make a motion saying that all these recordings are AI and they're really not. And so you file a motion with the court.
Yeah.
And then you bring the women in and you say, she says, no, he said this to me. And, and these would have been recorded on WhatsApp and apparently sent to them, so they would have the recordings. And if they come in and lay foundation for him, it is an admission of a party opponent. So it comes in as his own statement if it has sufficient indicia of reliability. That's kind of the standard. So this is just our little kind of follow-up.
Yeah, because you've got to remember, there's never going to be a case where you're 100% sure on something. You're just trying to get as close to it as possible.
To what we said before about these messages, and so because we report as we get information, and if it doesn't make sense, I'll tell you that. Do I like Andrew Tate? I think he's a pig. So what? But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to lie to you about Andrew Tate. I'm going to give it to you the information that we have as we get it.
Yep.
And right now, we're going to have
somebody dumb in chat. Let's fucking address this. Okay, here we go. Where's this Dumbo? Shit. Somebody about girls having rape fantasies. 62% of girls have rape fantasies. Okay, well, what if these people aren't part of that 62%? Because, if you have 6 people, the odds are that all 6 of them are part of that 62% are actually below 50%. So if we want to start using percentages, we can do that. That's weird as fuck. Bro, there are some people that get into weird shit. It's true. I don't know if it's 62%. That sounds insane. But, yeah, sure. But that doesn't... People have, a fantasy of this, but that doesn't mean that they want it to happen. It's crazy, man.
More and more and more and more of this stuff. Drip, 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 drip. The gift that keeps on giving. I'm Bruce Rivers. Thank you for watching us. Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. Sign up for Patreon for crying out loud. And we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers.
G-Link. Oh, I'll show you guys. Yeah, Bruce Rivers is fucking great. We've watched his videos for multiple things now. I think that just everything about him is, he's a very likable guy, I guess you can say. Yeah, he's a very likable guy, and just the way he structures things, I think that it's I don't really know the word is for it, but there's something about it that makes him very likable for me in my mind. Let me go back and I'll read a few comments about these, because the comments about stuff like this is always fucking hilarious. It's possible a single point in their lives, somebody ever thought about that fantasy with someone they trust. It doesn't mean they signed up for it or something. Well, also, wouldn't it go to show that these people weren't part of that 62%? Because if in your mind they get raped and it's a good thing for them, they wouldn't want the person they wouldn't want to have that person arrested because they liked that it happened? It doesn't, even if you use your logic, it still doesn't make any fucking sense. It's stupid even then. What's wrong with these people? It's the 3rd time now. I think that what's wrong with them? That logic doesn't imply consent. Yeah, it doesn't. It's just so silly. This is a dark conversation. Well, to me, it doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, it's just, it's so crazy to me that people are going off the deep end to try to defend something like this. It's nuts. Does want to set up roleplay like that? I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't want to care. Okay? I'm not part of that 62%. I think it's really fucking weird. If other people want to do it and it's consensual, go ahead. I don't really want to hear about it even. Okay? Let's see here. People defending him are the same types that defended Amber Heard. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point. The same types of people that are defending Andrew Tate are just the other side of the spectrum of the ones that defended Amber Heard. That is so fucking true. Let's see here. And if they had the fantasy, but the reality scarred them, it happens. They have them sign consent forms. Yeah, I think stuff like that already happens. Let's see here. They point to a picture. It's Johnny Depp. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. No one actually believed in innocent until proven guilty. That's why I supported listening before condemning Depp. I think that you can listen. As I said, somebody is innocent before proven guilty, but I don't think that it is unreasonable. There is a preponderance of evidence that this dude is guilty. It's not like there's a lot on both sides. It's like you've got private conversations, private recordings, public statements, multiple witnesses, fucking over a half a year investigation into this, and then him saying that, so that's all the evidence against him, and then the evidence for him is that it's the Matrix. Okay. Yeah. So, big surprise, people have come to a conclusion. That's crazy, man. It's where it was funded. I don't care. I don't want to talk about the fucking 62% thing. Like, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Let's see here. Even the way he defends himself in the voice, literally just him agreeing with what he did, but then adding stopping a pussy. Yeah, I know it is. What about his ex-girlfriend defending him? He didn't do anything wrong in that circumstance. We're going to go into the other video, all right? I'm going to link it to you guys. Yeah. All right, let's go back over. We'll look at this again. Here we go. Yeah, this is just crazy. I don't know what to say. The evidence is not enough, which is why they made it public. It's a psyop in order for the people to condemn him. Evidence is not made public because it gives the defense opportunity to defend. So I think that's not true. My opinion is that I don't think Andrew Tate has lost a lot of fans from this. I think that if Andrew Tate gets convicted of human trafficking and rape, he also won't lose a lot of fans. I really mean that. I think that's true. Yeah, I don't think that's the case in any regard. Just keep that in mind.